Libby asks, how important is the land surrounding an old house? It's incredibly important. And that's the first thing that goes, sadly. In times past, in general, houses had a lot more land. And so then the house was set off. And look at old primitive, especially primitive watercolors of early American houses. They're always just perched. And there's not a lot of stuff around them. There's not a lot of bushes and hedges up against the house. They're pure in the landscape. Now as time has gone on and people encroach and they crowd in. If it's too crowded, you have to find a way to recontextualize the house, like pick it up and move it to give it space again. You can see oftentimes in old cities, you can see a house that used to have, even in Rome, for instance, there's a temple called the Pantheon that over the centuries, the street has gone higher and higher and higher. It used to have several steps leading to it, and now I don't think it has very few, if any, because the street's gotten higher and higher as they redo it, and it doesn't sit the way it used to sit, and the buildings near it are too near. So the land is important. It's the first thing to go. It's the first thing to go. And then the house isn't what it was meant to be, because a lot of, especially country houses, were meant to kind of have a serene outlook all around them. And that gets taken away. Is it possible to properly, quote, save or, quote, preserve an old place if it is robbed of the surrounding land? No, it isn't. But as I say, you can deconstruct the house and reconstruct it somewhere else, or you can move it, or in extreme cases, you can deconstruct it and rebuild part of it. The most important thing to remember is to be able to visualize what it was and then try to recreate that as best you can. I mean, there are many examples of very successful houses that have been moved miles because the land around them was compromised, and then they pick it up and move it, and it's wonderful. But a house in a setting is like an actor on a stage. You have to have the actor on the stage, and then you have to have some room, and then you have the people watching. You can't just have the people right up against it. Then that's not theater anymore. It's like you need some room.